Hello everyone. Welcome for the next session. Right. Crunch time. Crunch time. We are sitting on 16th, right? So I'm sure that all of us are giving our mocks in full swing, that we are you know gearing up for the day. All right. So in that spirit, let's continue with another session, right? Of relentless practice. Right. Let's get into it straight away. All right. Okay, so CAT 25 Power 30 is our module. You can check out the details, which is still available for people who are looking for, uh, you know, the last mile. Okay, 15 sectional tests, 15 sessions, 15 CDC mocks. Right, so details are here. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with the session. As always, expectation is that you are practicing with me, right? It's a live session. Feel free to ask any doubts along the way. That's why we are meeting. Okay, let's see, right? And it will be quick fire, right? Now, no time will be wasted, right? Let's get into it. Okay, so here's the first one, right? Percentages, right? A, B, C are positive integers, so that 40% of A equals 75% of B and 90% of B equals 64% of C. What is the minimum possible value of A plus B plus C? So again, the basic question of percentage, or you can say even ratios, because any percentage comparison leads to ratio. So from the first statement, 40 into A equals 75 into B, right? And therefore we can get the ratio of A is to B, right? So A is to B is what? 75 is to 40, right? Which further simplifies as a 15 by 8, right? 15 by 8 is A is to B, and from here we have B is to C, right? So B is to C, so 90B equals a 64C, or B by C is 64 by 90, which can be written as 32 by 45. That's all, nothing further simplifies. B is 32 here, B should also be 32 here. It is 8, multiply with 4. So this is the same as 15 into 4, 8 into 4. So now we have connected these two ratios. Basic question, right? Percentage statements gives you ratios. You get ratios, you merge them, and you get the overall combined ratio. And there is your answer: A is to B is to C. The simplest ratio of A is to B is to C is coming as 60 is to 32 is to 45. So with ABC being positive integers, these values must be respectively multiple of 60, 32, and 45. A should be of the form 60K, B should be of the form 32K, and C should be of the form 45K, where K has to be an integer. So the minimum value are these numbers themselves, because 60, 32, 45, nothing common can be cancelled, right? So therefore 60 plus 32 is 92. 92 plus 45 is 130. Sorry, I forgot that. Just one second. 60 and 32 is 92. 92 and 45 is 137. Just a second. Something seems to be amiss. Just one second. This was 32 is to 45. Perfect. And this was 15 is to 8. Right. So I think yeah, so the answer is actually coming as 137. That is the correct answer. I think the options just, I think this should have been written as 137. 137 is the simplest form of the ratio, right? 137 is your answer over there. Okay, so people, a lot of people in the session, I know, right? Practice along with me, and let's continue. Yeah, 137, just a typo from my side. 137 is the correct choice. I mean, right? That should have been. Okay, quickly. Right. Saksham, let's try the next one. Everybody, time and work. Let me give you a minute to try this quickly. Classic question of time and work. Let's see who gets this first. No, Saksham, that's not correct. This is not as basic question, right? This is a very interesting one. A is working every day and is helped alternately by B and C, beginning with B on the first day. So what does that mean? A works on the first day along with B, then A will work along with C on the second day, and this process will keep on repeating, so on and so forward. Then again A and B, then again A and C. So this way it will keep on going again and again. So in a 2 day cycle, right, that is what is happening. Now, so how do we find this? Right. So whenever time is given, we should assume the work, right? We should assume the total work, right? So sorry, let's assume the idea is to take the total work to be a common multiple of the time periods, right? So what's the LCM of these numbers? Think of that. Just work on that, you'll get 1200, right? Easily. So let's assume your total work as 1200 units. So therefore, you can quantify the work rates, right? The rate of each of the three persons. A is 6, 1200 by 200. Rate of B is 10, 1200 by 120. Rate of C is 15, 1200 by 80. Right? There goes your rate. So in a 2 day span, in a 2 day cycle, what is the work done? First, A and B work, they will complete 6 plus 10, 16 units. Thank you for trying, Anurag. That is unfortunately also not correct. Please look at this. It is not 84. A and B, 16 units of work done. A and C, 6 and 15, 21 units of work done. In a 2 day cycle, 16 and 21, 37 units of work is done. This 2 day cycle needs to repeat in sufficient number of times so that the work done is closest possible to 1200. So you have to think of the multiple of 37 closest to Bhavesh. That is also not correct. It is not 32 days, it is 32 cycles. Isn't it? And a cycle is not of 1 day. So yes, 37, the closest multiple to 1200 would be 37 into 32. That would be closest multiple, and that works out to be 1184 units. 1184 units of work is done in how many days? It's 32 cycles. One cycle is of 2 days. So these are not 32 days, these are 64 days. In 64 days, we have done 1184 units. On the 65th day, A and B will come and get the remaining 16 units done. The answer is 65. The answer is 65. Everybody with me on that? I'm happy to see everybody is active with me, right? No doubts, right? Any doubts? Do ask me, right? Let me recap this once again. I assume the total work as 1200 units. I then defined the rates of the three persons as 6, 10, and 15. Based on that, I identified the way the work is getting done, A and B, and then A and C, that keeps on repeating. So in a 2 day cycle, A and B, they do 16 units, A and C, they do 21 units of work. 16 and 21 combined, they do 37 units of work. This 37, when multiplied with 32, is closest to 1200, which is 1184. Exactly 16 more units needs to be done now, and A and B will do exactly that. They will finish the remaining pending 16 units on the 65th day. Right. So, train your mind to be aware of the situation. राइट. व्हाट हैपेंस ना, वी हैव, जो हमने क्वेश्चन किए होते हैं, राइट, हमारा माइंड चलता है कि यार हमने ऐसा किया हुआ है तो हमें ऐसी एक्सपेक्टेशन रखें. So be very aware of the question. Is it something different? Okay. Or is it, so if it is something that you know, then that is best. If it is something new, then situational awareness is important. Right. Okay. Let's see next one. Let's see next one. Here we go. Time and distance escalator question. Right. Escalators question can also come in time and distance. Right. Let me give you some time to get this going. Let's see if you can get this. It's a more or less basic question of escalators. You should be able to get this. Okay, Saksham has got this very quickly. Thank you, Saksham. Yeah, that's correct, Saksham. Thank you. Good. Right. So let's do this. So there's a person, there's an escalator, and let's say, so in escalator question, typically you have to assume the number of steps on the escalator. Again, so take that as the LCM of all the time periods, 40 and 10. So 40 steps, right? So take the number of steps n as 40 for the escalator. Now take two variables, speed of person, speed of escalator, P and E, right? P and E denote the speeds of the person and the escalator respectively in terms of steps per second. So therefore, what equation you can write? A person, so escalator is ascending and a person took 40 seconds to go down against the escalator. So in this case, his effective speed is the difference of his own speed P minus that of the escalator. So P minus E, speed is distance by time. Distance covered is 40 steps at the rate of in time of 40 seconds. So 40 by 40 or 1 step per second is the value of P minus E. When he is coming back with the escalator, then his net speed is the sum of his own speed and that of the escalator. So P plus E is 40 number of steps divided by time, 10 seconds, which is 4 steps per second. How many seconds would the person take to walk up the escalator when it is switched off? Means when the speed the only speed that is working is that of the person. Right. Anurag also got that. Thank you. Right. So adding the two equations, we get that P plus P, E cancels, equals 5. P is 5 by 2. So therefore, with this speed of 5 by 2 steps per second, the time required is the distance to be covered, which is 40 steps divided by his speed, which is 5 by 2 steps per second, which comes to be 16 seconds. Right? Perfect. Right? Okay. So an easy one, right? Easiest that you can get. Okay. Good, good, good. Let's see. Easy followed by intriguing. Okay, so let's see if you can make sense of this question. Again, let me go silent. Okay, Sakshan wants to give the answer. I think you're taking your answer back. Okay, you correct your answer. Okay, let me not comment right now. You may be correct or not, I don't know. Anybody else? Okay, let's see. Right. So, so this question is on the core ideas of factor concepts of numbers, right? The concept being that in any number, when we list down all the factors, right, as a list, right? So, the first factor is always 1 and the last factor is always n. So on the number line, if we have plotted the factors or we have just noted down the list of factors, this is 1, this is n, these are never going away, right? 1 and the number itself are always the factors, right? And then there are other factors like, okay, so call this as what? F1, F2, F3, dot dot dot, and let's say this is the last factor number itself, and then there will be fn minus 1, fn minus 2, and so on. So the idea is that in a number, the product of factors equidistant from beginning and end equals the number itself, right? Yes, Aksham, I know you got that. Thank you. Right. So 1 into n will be n, and this f1 and that, fn minus 1, their product will be also the number itself. The product of these two will also be the number itself, and so on. So product of factors beginning equidistant from start and end equal the number itself. So I can illustrate that if in case that is not clear to you. Let me take a very small number. Let's say 24. Very small number, 24. List on all its factors. So 1 is there, 24 is there, right? Then 2 is there, then 12 is there corresponding to that. And there is no factor between 12 and 24. You can see that, right? And then there will be 3 here, and then there will be 8 here. So 3 into 8 is 24. And then there will be 4 here, and there will be 6 here. 4 into 6 is 24, and that's all. 24 has only these 8 factors, right? So in that way, if the product of 13th and 36th factors equals the number itself, so it means that they are equidistant from beginning and end. So therefore, before the 13th factor, there will be 12 factors on prior to that, right? This is F13, and there'll be 12 more factors prior to that, and there is this 36 factor, F36. So there should be 12 more factors ahead of it, right? So the total number of factors we can deduce from there of this number being 48, right? 36 and 12 further ahead, 48. Now, the question is not asking the number of factors, but this is what we can deduce. Question is going one step ahead and asking how many distinct, at most, how many distinct prime factors can the number have? Now, then question goes into the realm of the logic that what's the formula for the number of factors of a number? We know that the number of factors is obtained by incrementing the power of each prime factor by 1 and multiplying that all together, right? So if a number n is of the form p1 power x1 into p2 power x2 into p3 power x3 into p4 power x4 and so on dot dot dot, then the number of factors is given by the formula x1 plus 1 into x2 plus 1 into x3 plus 1 and dot dot dot. जितने भी प्राइम फैक्टर्स हैं उनके कॉरस्पॉन्डिंगली जो भी पावर्स हैं उनको +1 करो और उन सबको मल्टीप्लाई कर दो. The question is asking to maximize the number of distinct prime factors, for which this 48 you can understand is the product of x1 plus 1 x2 plus 1. तो आपको ये x1 x2 जितने हैं उसको मैक्सिमाइज करना है. तो जितना आप 48 को फैक्टराइज कर लोगे अलग अलग नंबर्स के प्रोडक्ट में, उतने आपके डिफरेंट डिफरेंट प्राइम फैक्टर्स बन जाएंगे with their respective powers. So 48 you can write in the most expanded manner as being 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, which is 16 into 3, 48. So these values are your x1 plus 1 x2 plus 1 dot dot dot. मतलब कि आपका जो नंबर है उसमें 5 distinct prime factors हैं, क्योंकि ये 5 numbers का product है. This expression is equivalent to this expression. So therefore, it denotes that the number is like of the form n is p1 power 1, because this is 2, which is x1 plus 1. So x1 is 1. So n is p1 into p2 into p3 into p4 corresponding to 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into p5 square corresponding to 3. So आप इस तरह के नंबर को उसके फैक्टर्स कितने बोलोगे, यही बोलोगे ना, 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. Right? I hope that is perfectly clear to everyone. Right? So factor logic in depth. Right? Easy पर भी आए थे और अब डीप में भी जा रहे हैं. राइट, सो यही तैयारी करनी है. वी हैव टू प्रिपेयर फॉर राइट द राइज एंड द फॉल, राइट, everything perfect. Okay, good. Right, I got one answer, but everybody also, I hope you got the point. Right, okay. Geometry. Okay, let me give you 1 minute again. So let me not label this question. Right, let's see if you can do this. Okay, Nurag is the first. Okay, so as soon as I get an answer, let me start now. Right, Anurag has given the answer. Anurag, I think that is correct. I think, yeah, that is correct. Good. Right. So here we go. A point P inside a circle is 2 centimeters away from its circumference, and the shortest chord through this point measures 16 centimeters. So the distance of a point from a circle is measured along the radial line, which means that if there is a point P over here somewhere, then the shortest distance to any point from along the circle's circumference is the along the line from the center of the circle to this point and then connecting it further. So if this is circle's center O, and if this is the point P, and if this OP is extended further to meet the circle at some point X, then this PX is given as 2. Then comes the next point, shortest chord through this point. The shortest chord drawn through a point inside a circle is that chord which is perpendicular to the radial line joining the center's circle to that point, which means draw a chord perpendicular to OP like that. So that is going to be the shortest chord through the point P. Of all the chords, there can be infinitely many chords passing through point P. This is the shortest. That is the logic. So let's call this AB. Right, so this AB is 16 in length, says that AB should be perpendicular to OX or OP, one and the same thing. So if this is 16, we know that, the perpendicular from the center of a circle to a chord bisects it. Hence, AP equals PB equals 8 each. Now we have to find the circle's radius. We know 2 dimensions. This is 8 AP. This is PX is 2. Join the radial line OA, you get the right angle triangle OPA. Apply the Pythagoras theorem. OA is the radius R we are trying to find. OX is also R. So OP is R minus 2. Apply the Pythagoras theorem. OA square equals OP square plus AP square should give you the value of R. So R square equals OP square, which is R minus 2 the whole square, plus AP square, which is 8 square 64. Solve this. R square minus 4R plus 4 plus 64. R square goes off. 4R comes over here equals 68. R is 17. So therefore, this is your 8, 15, 17 triangle. right? 17 is the required radius, right? Okay, right. Good, good, good. Anurag, thank you. Everybody also clear? Perfect. Okay, let's see what we have. Next one. Functions. Algebra. Let me know if you are getting this. Let's try this. And by the way, in any case, with just a few days ahead, anything you have in your mind you want to discuss, anything, come write any last minute guide. If you're seeking some help, something, you can let me know. We can discuss that also, right? Any strategy, anything that you want to, we can do that also, right? If f of x plus 1 by x is x power 4 plus 1 over x power 4, then what is the value of f of 4? I'm sure somebody can do this. All of you can do this. टाइम अप, टाइम अप. अगर आता होगा तो अब तक हो चुका होगा, नहीं तो नहीं होगा. एफ ऑफ 4 चाहिए, तो फंक्शन एफ ऑफ एक्स के फॉर्म में नहीं लिखा हुआ. एफ ऑफ, ओके, सक्षम, नो, राइट, सक्षम, लेट्स सी. राइट, सो बेसिकली एफ ऑफ 4 फाइंड करना है, बट एफ ऑफ एक्स इक्वल टू करके इक्वेशन नहीं है. दिक्कत ये है, कोई बात नहीं, एफ ऑफ 4 चाहिए तो इनपुट 4 होना चाहिए. जो इक्वेशन है उसमें ये इनपुट मैं क्या चाहूंगा कि ये एक्स हो, ये एक्सप्रेशन 4 हो. तो ये दिस होल थिंग x plus 1 by x, this whole thing is my 4, right? My input, which is x plus 1 by x, is 4, and I have to find. Okay, section corrected yourself. Anurag also got that. Thank you. That is correct. Right. Thank you. Good. Right. So x plus 1 by x is 4, and then you need x4 plus 1 by x4. Classic question. Do the squaring, you will get there, right? Square both the sides once and again twice, because you have to get to x power 4. So squaring both the sides will give me x square plus 1 by x square plus 2 into x into 1 by x, which is simply 2, equals 4 square or 16. So your x square plus 1 by x square is coming to be 14. And then again do squaring on both the sides. You have x4 plus 1 over x4 plus 2 into x square into 1 by x square, 1, equals 4 square, 196. So there goes your answer, 196 minus 2, 194, right? So we all know how to deal with this, right? If x plus 1 by x is given, we can find x squared plus 1 by x square. We can even find x cube plus 1 by x cube, or even other higher powers, right? Square kar do, cube kar do, mil jaye, right? Okay, but that was disguised, right? You had to understand, acha, x plus 1 by x 4 hai, right? मुझे 4 चाहिए. So equation, function की equation was given in that form that you had to put that. Okay, good. Now this is my favorite one. Let's see if you can do this. I'll give you some time to try this. Okay, let's see if somebody can solve this. Let Sn denote the sum of n terms of the sequence given below. And there is your sequence. Look at this, what it is, what is happening over there. Which is the smallest value of n such that S of n is more than 1000? Okay, so I won't say it's time out, but let me start discussing. In case you are getting some answer, please share, right? So you got, I mean, the once you look at the terms, you understand what's happening, right? It's basically juggling across three consecutive numbers, right, in a sequence, right? Starting from one, then starting from two, then starting from three, right? One, two, three, then two, three, four, then three, four, five. So basically, you have to take the terms in triplets, right? That's what you have to do, right? You want the sum of some certain number of terms to exceed 1,000, and you want to see when does that happen for the first time. Group the numbers in threes. No, Anurag. I don't know how you got that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5. Dot, dot, dot. What is 1 plus 2 plus 3? It's 6. What is 2 plus 3 plus 4? It is 9. What is 3 plus 4 plus 5? It will be 12. And then it will be 15. And then it will be 18 and so on. Right? So basically, once you group the numbers in their triplets form, because that is how the sequence is progressing, right? You keep on getting the sum of these triplets to be consecutive multiples of 3, not starting from 3, but starting from 6. So the sum of certain number of terms in groups of threes will be a sum of multiples of threes, right? So if I have taken such n groups, where this will land up to, think about that, right? Mm, right. So the nth group, what will be the nth group like? Section that is okay, right? Fine. Section that is either the correct answer or that is very close to the correct answer, because I do remember something like that is the answer. Thank you. Right, let's check. So the first group had 6. It had 2 in the middle. The second group had 3 in the middle. The third group have 4 in the middle. So you understand the nth group will have n plus 1 in the middle. First group has 2 in the middle. Or you can say the first group starts with 1, the second group starts with 2. That is easy to say. The third group starts with 3. So the nth group will be the numbers which is n plus 1, n plus 2. And their sum will be 3 into n plus 1. That will be the nth group. So the sum of 3n terms, because we have taken nth group, so we have taken 3n terms. So sum of 3n number of terms will be 6 plus 9 plus 12 up to 3 into n plus 1. Think about this very carefully. Am I making sense? First group 1 to 3 starts with 1. Second group starts with 2. Nth group will start with n plus 1, n plus 2. Sum will be 3 into n plus 1. Right? So this sum needs to be just uh, just short of, or maybe even equal to, I don't know if it equal 1,000. Right? Because we don't want to exceed 1,000. We want to count until we are about to reach 1,000. Right? So we'll see then what we need to add further, right? So this is 3 common into 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to n plus 1. So that is nothing but 3 into. So this is sum of the first n plus 1 natural numbers minus 1. So n plus 1 into n plus 2 upon 2 minus 1 needs to be less than equal to 1,000. Okay, so let me round this off, right? Let me ignore this minus 1 for the time being. And let me just say these are two consecutive numbers. I'm rounding them off to n plus 1 whole square. So 3 by 2 into n plus 1 whole square is close to 1,000. So I'm doing an approximation. Approximately 3 by 2 times of n plus 1 whole square is somewhere near to 1,000. So n plus 1 whole square is somewhere near to 1,000 into 2 by 3, which is 667. So I'm thinking of a perfect square which goes close to 667. 25 square is 625, right? So what happens at n equal to 25? Okay, so let me make some space because I've ran out of some space. uh, can I clear this space a bit? Okay, so what we need is For n equal to 25, what is happening? For n equal to 25, the actual sum would be 3 by 2. Sorry, not 3 by 2. 3 into whole bracket 25 into 13 minus 1. Can you see that? Sorry, my bad. 26 into 27 by 2 it will be. That would exceed if I do 26. So that will be 27 into 13 minus 1. What is 27 into 13? If I'm putting n equal to 25 here, then it is 26 into 27 by 2 or 13 into 27 minus 1. 27 into 13 is 270 and then 81, which is 351 minus 1. Oh, it's exceeding 1000. It's 350 into 3050. So for I need to go for n equal to 24, I guess, right? So take n equal to 24, not 25. N equal to 24. So basically you're taking 24 groups. The nth group was n plus 1, n plus 2. That is important to understand. So for taking 24 groups, uh, your sum will be 3 into, I think this should be less than 1000. So 25 into 26 by 2, which is 25 into 13 minus 1. 25 into 13, 250 and 75, 325 minus 1, 324. This is 3 into 324, which is 972. So 972 is the sum of 24 groups. The 24th group will be the numbers, which is 24, 25, 26. This will be 24th group. And until here, you have taken 72 terms. You have taken 72 terms and your sum of these 72 terms is 972. Then the 26th group will start, then the 26th group. Right? This was the 25th group. This was the, just one second. Sorry, my bad. 20, we have taken 24, n equal to 24. So this was the 24th group, right? Starting from 24, having these 72 terms. Now the 25th group will start with 25. Will I have reached my target of 1000? No. 972 plus 25, right? I need 28, but this is 25. So this is still less than 1000. This is 997, right? So yes, I think the answer is there for 74. Right, Saksham? I think you were almost there with respect of checking that which term exactly it is 74, right? 72 terms, 24 groups, 972 sum, then 25th group of triplets start with 25. 972 plus 25 is still 997. Then you will add 26, the 74th term that will exceed 1000. Perfect. Okay, so this was, I mean, I took a lot of time to explain this, but if you get this going, you can, it's doable in around 2.5, 3 minutes, right? Uh, Quite. So these are those questions which are, maybe, in your second round, right? Second round, you can do these questions, right? Doable, but little bit, you have to be very careful, right? The only good thing is it's a theta question, right? So with theta, you don't have a risk. But again, you still have the risk of time being utilized, right? Time is precious. Okay, so lots to learn, right? Ready for next one? And enjoying this one? Got it? Any doubts? You can ask me. Clear? Okay, let's move on. Another question which I would want you to try. Let's see. Again, theta. No options to help you. Right? Let's try. And you can do this. It's not tough. I know a lot of intelligent people are in the room. All right. मैं आंसर आपका इंतजार कर रहा हूं, तभी हम डिस्कस करेंगे. Ooh. Okay, Saksham, we'll just check. To be honest, I don't remember the answer. Okay, we have got different answers here. 23, 25. Let's check now. Right, let's see. अब सक्षम की बोली तो कम है, अनुराग, भावेश लेकिन 25 कह रहा है. चलो देखते हैं. 23 है, 25 है, क्या है. So 7x, 8y, 9z. Right. So that adds up to 200, right? Where x, y, z represent the number of pouches that you have selected containing 7, 8, and 9 number of marbles respectively. They need to add up 200. Based on this, you have to minimize x plus y plus z. That is the question basically. What is the minimum sum of, what is the minimum total number of pouches possible? So what's the least possible value of x plus y plus z? So very obvious logic is कि the more the number of marbles in each pouch, the less the number of pouches you will need, right? So you would want to maximize the number of pouches having 9 marbles. Unfortunately, you cannot have selected all the marbles in terms of having them, all the pouches in terms of having 9 marbles, because 200 is not a multiple of 9. So you will consider the number of pouches to be closest to 200 and a multiple of 9. मतलब आप z को maximize करना चाहोगे सबसे पहले, right? So that x plus y plus z is minimized. Now, I guess 22 into 9 is 198, right? But z equal to 22 also can't work. You can't put z equal to 22 because then 198, so you can't have two marbles in terms of 7 and 8s. So 22 won't be possible. 22 into 9 is 198. 21, what about 21? 21 into 9, right? 189. Again, 11 marbles will remain. Let me write what I'm saying. 21 into 9 is 189. So if you're taking 21 pouches having 9 marbles each, so 11 remaining marbles you cannot assign in terms of multiples of 7s and 8s in any which way. So this possibility is also not there. Not there. So let's come to 20. So yahi hit and trial karna padega, right? And so on and so forward until we reach a possibility. So 20 into 9 is 180. Can you create 20 marbles, therefore, in terms of multiples of 7 and 8? Again, I don't think so. How can you make that? 7, 7 is 14, then 6, 7, and then 13 remains not a multiple of 8. Again, you can't get 20 marbles by combining terms of 7s and 8s. Can you? I don't think so. Right? So 20 is also not possible. क्या करें? और नीचे आते जाओ, 19 पर आ जाओ. 19 into 9 क्या करेंगे? और नीचे आएंगे 171 पर आएंगे. तो फिर यहाँ पर 29 टोटल मार्बल्स पॉसिबल है क्या? 21. थिंक अबाउट दैट. 7 into 3 is 21. ये तो कर ही सकते हैं. But I would prioritize if I could create. I would want to have more of. अब मैं 8 को प्रायोरिटी दूंगा, right? But can I have 8s? मतलब 8 के टर्म्स में 8 into 2 is 16. 16 plus 5 बच जाएगा. I can't have that. अगर एक 8 रखूंगा तो 13 बच जाएगा. I can't do that. नहीं. So what is the best way? 7 into 3. 7 into 3, 21. Oh, sorry, my bad. एक मिनट. 29 चाहिए ना? Just 1 second. My bad. Sorry. 29 चाहिए. 21 गलत लिखा है मैंने. My bad. 171, 29, right? Not 21. 29. Sorry. 29 चाहिए हैं तो आई वुड वांट टू हैव मोर ऑफ 8s. 8 का क्लोजेस्ट मल्टीपल ऑफ 29, 8 into 4 is 8 into 3 is 24. 24 फिर 5 बच जाएगा, नॉट पॉसिबल. 8 into 2 is 16. 16 एंड फिर यहाँ पर 15 बच जाएगा, नॉट पॉसिबल. एक 8 ले लें, 1 8 and then we'll have 21. 21 plus 8. That is a only way, right? So 7 into 3 plus 8 into 1 plus 19 into 9. I don't think so it gets better than that. That should exactly equal what I want. And I have taken 19 pouches of 9. I have taken 1 pouch of 8 and I have taken 3 pouches of 7. So there goes your answer, 19, 20, 23. सबसे पहला जवाब, सबसे सही जवाब था सक्षम का, राइट? राइट. Saksham, I don't think so that is the correct way to explain it, because you have to ensure that it has to exactly match with 200, right? You cannot just say जो आप कह रहे हो कि so obviously less than 25 will be the answer because we so that is right. You have to देखो, it's you have to exactly match this equation, right? So you have to ensure कि ना कम ना ज़्यादा, right? So this is what we have to do. I think this is the way. Okay, so very good people. Um, to summarize, I think this is you know the time that we understand. जो हमें आता है हम सिर्फ वही अब my एग्जाम हॉल में, मतलब what we know and what we're taking to the exam hall is more than sufficient. Now what all we require, right, what I have been trying to bring across in today's session is uh, mindfulness, right? Situational awareness, right? वो पूछ क्या रहा है, right? Don't get swayed away by your prior experiences. Take the question as it comes. If it exactly matches with what you had done prior, then nothing like that, right? Or it is very close to that, then that is golden question. And questions which are slightly slight variations of the I mean they still ask you the core same concepts, right? But they ask it in a different way. So handle the information, how you handle the information, how you analyze it, once you read the question, in your mind, is there a flow of is a thought process being created, or a in what flow I am going to go about this? If that is being created, then jump onto that one, right? So all the best, right? Just a few days, and obviously other exams you are also trying, but CAT is always the one which is going to open the maximum number of doors, right? So therefore, I wish you all the best. We'll meet again, right? Thank you everyone. See you.